Today I'd like to talk about unmortgageable properties, where to find them and how you can make real money out of them. Hi, my name is Mark Lloyd. I'm co-founder of Property Master Academy and been a property investor since 2005. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any of the free content that I give you each and every week. So today I'd like to focus on unmortgageable properties and how they could potentially be a fantastic opportunity for you. Firstly, I want to look at what actually makes a property unmortgageable and where to find them. And secondly, what you can do with an unmortgageable property to make money from it. Now, derelict properties are a great example of an unmortgageable property and anything with structural defects. For example, if a property has substantial cracks, damp, bowing of the walls, dry or wet rot, all of these are great examples of properties that are probably not going to be mortgageable. If there's a history of subsidence, or if it's non-standard types of construction, or indeed unusual construction. But even if the property has no kitchen or no bathroom, or it's got, say, 2 kitchens, these can all be reasons for the property being unmortgageable. There's also that dreaded knotweed I'm sure you've heard about, Japanese knotweed, hated by most property investors, or at least those that don't know what to do about it. If you've got that on or near a property, it's probably going to be unmortgageable. What about location? Well, some locations are also unmortgageable. For example, if it's in a floodplain or close to a floodplain, that's probably going to be a real problem with regards to getting a mortgage. If there are any boundary disputes, or if there's a planning application that's been applied for incorrectly, if the area is subject to any coastal erosion, or if they are built near any landfill sites or old mines, these may be a problem getting a mortgage. Now, if we take a look at leasehold flats, if the lease is defective, or maybe it's a short lease, these will also be difficult to get mortgages on until the problem is sorted. If you're on anything above a 5th story in a tower block, or if you're above certain types of shops, it's probably going to mean that the properties are unmortgageable. Also, if the property has a value less than £40,000, you can't get a buy-to-let mortgage on it, unless you're buying a portfolio of them and then different rules apply. If you're buying a property that is substantially below market value, surprisingly, it will also be difficult to get a mortgage on it. What about tenants? Well, generally, buying a tenanted property is okay, but not if it's a regulated tenancy, often referred to as a sitting tenant. You won't be able to get a mortgage on these properties. Now, by the way, if you're finding this stuff useful, I really love it if you could just click on the thumbs up button below, as that really helps our algorithms, if that's okay. So what do you do if you find one of these unmortgageable properties? Well, firstly, make sure you carry out your due diligence. So if it's a legal, planning, lease-related issue, then your advisors will be able to assist you. These are the people that can look at these for you. But what if it's a structural issue? Is there any remedial work that you could do that might actually make that property mortgageable? So for example, if there's no kitchen in the property, you're probably not going to be able to get a mortgage on it. So what you could do is exchange contracts with keys access and install a kitchen before completion. Or maybe get the vendor to agree to some kind of an option agreement where he signs to say that he's going to commit to sell that property to you. You then do some remedial work, or maybe fit a new kitchen, maybe some underpinning and subsidence, whatever it might be, structural issues, and then the property can then become mortgageable. And that's a great way to actually deal with any structurally based issues with the property. Obviously, the other way that you could approach it is you could look at some other kind of financing. Now, I've mentioned this in other videos, but the obvious one that comes to mind is bridging or crowdfunding. Now, some of you may recall we operate a crowdfunding platform that provides bridging and development finance. So you could bridge the property until you get it to a mortgageable state and then get rid of the bridging, which is always going to be much more costly than a standard buy-to-let mortgage or homeowner mortgage. I should just add though, at this point, although we operate a crowdfunding platform and can provide bridging finance, we are not mortgage brokers, so you should speak to an independent mortgage broker for your buy-to-let mortgage. So how do you deal with estate agents when offering on unmortgageable properties? Well, hopefully you've built up a good level of rapport with the agent, so you need to make it clear that you're in a position to deal with unmortgageable properties. Now, they know that unmortgageable properties are not as easy to sell as very few people can buy without a mortgage. Now, some bridging companies like ours will provide you with a facility letter or agreement in principle to help you with the agent for your proof of funds. But how do you find these properties in the first place? Well, very simple. You can go onto Zoopla, Rightmove or paid for portals like Property Data and type in cash buyer, and you might be surprised by what comes up. Often, those looking for cash buyers are because the property is simply unmortgageable in its current condition. But there's all the criteria that I've mentioned previously as well. So, I've mentioned quite a few types of unmortgageable properties, but have I missed any? If you think I have, and I'm pretty sure there's more, then I'd really appreciate it if you could add them in the comments below so I can then add them to my list as well. I really hope you found this video useful, and if you have, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also the like button. That will really help our YouTube algorithms. And lastly, there are some videos appearing on your screen right now that will help you in your property journey. So until the next time, thanks for listening.